Russian forces in retreat near Bakhmut, Ukraine and Wagner say.
Here's a summary of the article.
Near Bakhmut, Ukraine. The Ukrainian military and Russia's Wagner private army both reported further Russian retreats on the outskirts of Bakhmut on Thursday, as Kyiv pressed on with its biggest advance for 6 months ahead of a planned counteroffensive. Ukrainian troops near the front line said Russia was bombarding access roads to slow the Ukrainian assault, which has shifted momentum after months of slow Russian gains in Europe's deadliest ground combat since World War II. Ukraine's gains have been accompanied by a deepening public split within Russia's forces between Wagner, which has led the Bakhmut campaign, and the regular Russian military. Wagner boss Yevgeny Prigozhin says his forces inside Bakhmut itself are still advancing, on the cusp of pushing Ukrainian troops out of their last foothold in the built-up area on the city's western outskirts. The Russian Defense Ministry has acknowledged some withdrawals from positions near Bakhmut over the past week but denies Prigozhin's assertions that flanks are crumbling, or that it has withheld ammunition from Wagner. Ukraine says its tactic around Bakhmut is deliberately to draw Russian forces into the city, so as to weaken Russia's front-line defenses elsewhere ahead of Kyiv's planned counter-assault. Wagner troops climbed into Bakhmut like rats into a mousetrap. Oleksandr Syrsky, commander of Ukraine's ground forces, told troops at the Bakhmut front in video he released this week on social media.
This post received a score of 7,500, with an upvote ratio of 98%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
I don't ever recall a private mercenary group being so out in front in the world press as Wagner, sharing tactical information and using it to shape military strategy. It's very strange.
PMCs do a lot of backroom dealings, but in Russia their PMC is a bona fide political faction, so it is about shaping the war narrative and jockeying against other factions like MOD and GRU for political power.
An organization with military strength is always a candidate for political power, but PMCs usually are kept in check by whoever pays them. The reason Wagner is pulling it off the way they do is because Russia is so weak.
Yup, Prigozhin would be going out a window months ago if Putin could afford to do it. Funny thing about a table full of backstabbing opportunists though, is they all know what the other's planning and do what they can to shelter themselves. For now, Wagner has cemented the propaganda of itself as important to Russian success in Ukraine. So Putin could throw him out a window, but the costs would be too high to make it worth doing. But I'd be shocked if Prigozhin isn't sleeping with one eye open right now.
Prigozhin is loyal to Putin, in his own special way. What he wants is to usurp the Russian MOD, which is very dangerous, as the last person who tried was fired from the army on treason rumors when he tried to clamp down on corruption.
America runs on Duncan. Russia runs on corruption.
Oh, I think we have a non-zero amount of corruption that needs to be dealt with. Seems to be getting worse.
Are you saying that the donuts are corrupt?
The sprinkles are also cursed.
But they come with your choice of toppings. The toppings are also cursed.
Almost a year straight in this singular city. I truly cannot understand why they want it so badly. I understand it's a road nexus, but it's not even a Pyrrhic victory at this point. It's that bad.
At first, it was simply because it was one of the only cities that Wagner could conquer. Prigozhin needed it to gain weight in his internal strife with Shoigu. There was nothing strategic behind the battle. Then, showing how difficult the advance was, the goal switched to kill as much Ukrainians as possible in an attrition battle. The Ukrainian goal was the same, by the way. I guess it also became a Concord fallacy. They lost so many soldiers and mercenaries that giving up will result in a political issue. Edit. Spelling.
The battle of the sunk cost fallacy.
Good. Get the fuck out.
Niet, this is tactical reversing.
Bakhmut was just a feint.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.